Joe, thank you. Back to a new and promising step in the race for a coronavirus vaccine. Moderna executives joining Pfizer in asking the FDA for emergency use approval for its vaccine. It could, some say, be a game changer in the nation's fight against the virus, with cases reaching new heights during the month of November. Joining us now is Dr. Yvonne Maldonado, epidemiologist and infectious disease specialist at Stanford Medicine. Doctor, appreciate your time here on NewsNation tonight. Let's begin with the significance of today's announcement. Is this the light at the end of the tunnel that some hope it is?
We hope so. It's one more light at the end of a very long tunnel, and we hope that the data looks good and that we may be able to have up to 50 million doses of vaccine before the end of the calendar year.
Well, in regards to the data, I'm curious, what will this advisory panel be looking at in their review?
Well, there are a couple of reviews, obviously. So there's obviously the Pfizer reviews that are coming up, but the first review will involve the FDA, taking the FDA's advisory committee, looking at the data, primarily for safety signals and also for effectiveness or efficacy of the vaccine. That is the ability of the vaccine to prevent infection or disease. And then the Centers for Disease Control has their own committee that will look at allocation of vaccine, which population members in the United States should be getting vaccinated. If all, that would be great, but they may decide that only certain population members, certain age groups may get vaccinated. And then dosing and schedule will be considered. So the first meeting, there's actually a meeting tomorrow to look at allocation of vaccines when they come out. And then in the December 10th and 14th, I believe there will be additional meetings around the specific vaccines.
What challenges do you foresee in terms of distribution, administration of these vaccines, and also storage? Because we know at least two of them have to be kept pretty cold.
Yeah, so these two are the first of hopefully many vaccines to come. And both of them have challenges around what we call the cold chain. So they both need to be refrigerated. The Pfizer vaccine needs to be refrigerated at ultra freezing temperatures, -70 degrees centigrade. The Moderna vaccine, not so cold, but still can be a cold chain issue, especially for rural areas or smaller hospitals that don't have those types of facilities. So initially it will be difficult to get the vaccines out to some of the smaller hospitals or areas around the country. We hope that the follow-up vaccines will be much more available.
How are hospitals, or how should hospitals be preparing right now for being allocated a dose of the vaccine?
Well, by now, most counties, most states and counties have received instructions from Operation Warp Speed leadership around how to start planning. That process happened back in September and October. So most counties and states have already built a general plan for how they would like to distribute vaccine. But the reality is that we won't really know how much vaccine will be available to each state, each county, city, et cetera. So I think everybody's starting already to put their plans in place and looking for storage, looking for personnel to administer vaccine, and communications around safety and confidence, which is another big issue.
What should we make of the sample sizes in these trials, considered relatively small? Once these vaccines are distributed to a larger portion of the population, do we expect to see differences in the results and the efficacy?
Well, the efficacy data are actually not, you don't need large numbers for efficacy trials, so you could use maybe several thousand, not tens of thousands, for efficacy data. The larger numbers, that is in the 30 to 40,000 range, you really need those numbers to look for safety signals. And that's really, I think, going to be the critical issue. It does look like these data, if they hold up under FDA and CDC scrutiny, should be indicative of very effective vaccines. So we hope that's the case. But the safety signals will be as important, and we'll be able to pick up some major safety signals if there are any. However, once, as you mentioned, you give out doses to millions of people, there may be some subtle findings that you wouldn't find with using just tens of thousands of individuals. That said, most vaccines don't undergo this much scrutiny.
And finally, Doctor, what is a reasonable expectation in terms of durability for this vaccine moving forward?
We really don't know the answer to that. I think it's all speculation at this point. Most of us hope that there will be some durable response, maybe months to potentially years. But judging from what we know about coronaviruses, immunity to the class of viruses in general is not lifelong. So there may need to be boosters at some point down the line.
All right, well, an important step in the right direction to getting this virus under control. Dr. Maldonado, we appreciate your time tonight. We're hearing first responders and those with compromised immune systems, our elderly, will be the first to receive the doses. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.